And it's weather on demand for Monday, July 21st. Your weather headlines: plenty warm and humid, summertime in full swing. But you know, the summer-like weather is actually not going to last all that long. For today, we have a steady south wind ushering in all that warmer and more humid air. And we'll be watching some storms on the approach too. Checking out temperatures as we start the day at the 8 o'clock hour. Warmer than average through the 60s, even low 70s. And you can see that steady south wind. We've hung on to that all weekend long, in fact. And now as we start back to work, hell, every once in a while we see a peak wind gust just around 20 miles an hour or so. We were watching some thunder shower activity trying to work over western Lake Superior. But as you can see, those storms kind of eroding and drying out as they work just over that Keweenaw Peninsula. Nonetheless, we keep the threat for some isolated thunder shower activity over the Keweenaw and over north and central upper Michigan. We're kind of on the southern fringe of this latest cool frontal boundary, main center of low pressure crossing well up into Canada. And meanwhile, high pressure dominates much of the center part of the country. We're kind of on the northern fringe of that high, so we're in between those two systems. Any weather disturbance that works in, that'll fire off some of those showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, oppressive heat, heat advisories from parts of Kansas into Missouri, way up into Minneapolis and through those Dakotas. Strong storms are going to be firing off as we look at parts of the Dakotas. They'll eventually be spreading into across Minnesota into the western upper peninsula for this evening and overnight. Watch what happens. Here's some of that isolated thunder shower activity for mid to late afternoon. And you know what? That threat is pretty limited. We'll call it a sun-cloud mix. You can see it's mainly sunny over the eastern counties. A steady south wind, though, makes for some choppy conditions along Lake Michigan shorelines. Here's what happens tonight. We'll see some strong storms, and as you can see from our simulated satellite and radar, some of those storms could produce some heavy rain. There's a chance for some large hail in there as well. Also, a pretty good chance for some damaging winds with any of these thunderstorms, especially over the far western UP, and of course cloud to ground lightning always a threat. So we want to stay weather aware, especially for tonight and especially over west and central upper Michigan through those overnight hours. And then that instability will shift into the eastern counties through your Tuesday. But some of those storms could still be on the stronger side through Tuesday. You want to stay up to date on that. We look at today, Wednesday, I should say. High pressure builds in. That brings some cooler air on a steady north wind. So for today, some of the warmer spots, upper 80s, low 90s. Threat for some isolated, limited thunderstorm action. All in all, though, the heat and humidity are going to be one of the bigger headlines for today. It will be a touch cooler right along that immediate Lake Michigan shoreline, 70s there. Most of us running through the 80s under mainly sunny skies over much of the rest of the eastern half of upper Michigan. So here's a chance for those strong storms, especially west and central upper Michigan. Temperatures stay on the mild side too with those steady south winds. Isolated thunderstorm activity is possible pre-dawn over the eastern counties into our Tuesday morning, and then more widespread rain and thunder will be spreading in. Some of the storms will be on the stronger side still, and eventually a northwest wind develops late Tuesday, especially over the Keweenaw. That keeps that superior shoreline and the Keweenaw Peninsula a touch cooler. And then as you can see, temperatures will be centered around 70 by Wednesday. High pressure overhead means mainly clear skies. Some of those cooler spots on that north wind will be right along Lake Superior. Next chance of rain sneaks in by Saturday. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.